Welcome, everyone, to Storm Chasers, the official podcast of guaranteed Lake Elsinore Storm content, where we won't rest until we win another California League title. Greg Elsten, Chris Reed, Raphie Cantor, we're back with you. It's been a rough go, 3-3 against the Stockton Ports. Just another mid-performance, a game over 500. Why do we torture ourselves? Just white-knuckling each one of these Storm games, guys. It's getting a little bit hard on the Constitution.
You know, early in the week, if you would have asked me coming off of a 19-0 win Wednesday night, where we got to see Wyatt Hoffman electrify the 712 people in the crowd, big come out for Wildlife Wednesday. And then to see the letdown for the rest of the week, just barely etching out a series split. Yeah, man, I'd say you're right, Craig. That's about as mid as it gets. And if you would have asked me Wednesday, if that's what would have happened, I would have said no. I would have said they're sending Stockton back to their home port without ballast.
Well, it goes back to the larger issue of the league structure, which is that we have the Cal League North-South split, and it's just dumb that teams that are 500, like the fucking Storm, are in first place, literally in first place, 2 games up on the Quakes of Rancho Cucamonga. Meanwhile, you got guys sweating it out in the North. Like Modesto Nuts are going crazy right now. They have a 656 win percentage. Fresno's up there, 600. And it's just like, it's ridiculous that like we as the Storm get to just sit cushy in first place, a game over 500, when we've got all these Central Valley teams just absolutely sweating it out.
Hey, dude, we'd be bummed if it was going our other way. So they got to take it while they can get it. It's not going to be that way year in and year after year. So if you're playing in the league that's a little underperforming, just take advantage of it while you can, and that's the most frustrating about this split.
I mean, you've heard me say it so many times. Don't talk to me about your playoff position in the Cal League South until you get a couple games over 500. I mean, you're like 3 games from not being in first place in the Cal League South. We're in a pack, we're in a race, and we're just trying to get out of each other's way. But, guys, before we get too far, I just want to remind you, if you're enjoying the show and you support what we do, patreon.com/stormchasers, patreon.com/stormchasers. For as little as 55 cents a day, you have the opportunity to help us. You get into the Storm Chasers Patreon. You get the first look at taproom benefits. We've worked that out. You get a chance at a higher level to hang out with Ryan and maybe even podcast with Ryan. There's all sorts of options. So patreon.com/stormchasers. Please give it a look.
I feel like Deathmobile, if you enter our Patreon at the Deathmobile level, you will get a meet and greet pick opportunity with Thunder at every game you attend. Yes, so we've got a special circumstance. We know Thunder is basically what it is.
And if you're not willing to commit at the Deathmobile, you can do our big-ish patron level. We'll take you out on a pontoon boat on Lake Elsinore. And you can go tubing with us. So that is for our biggish patrons.
Yeah, I'm still a little frustrated with you though, Raphie, because there hasn't even been a Clouds Above replacement for like 2 months, and I need that. I need that deep dive. But hopefully, Clouds Above replacement coming back real soon. But show's off to a little bit of a rough start. Let's get to a positivity corner. This is where you have to say something good about what's going on with the Lake Elsinore Storm. So let's rate the Lucha Libre. I thought it was the height of competition last night, but who comes out on top? Who had the style? Los dos compañeros. Is that? I mean, they had their name written on their tushies. I think that's a determining factor.
It counts for something, and I want to be positive, so I'm not going to denigrate any of the performers, but my guy Tortuga, slow and strong. He came in wearing the belt, he walked out wearing the belt, and at the end of the day, that's what matters. So Tortuga, love to see it every single time.
My positivity corner for the Lucha Libre was the usher at the diamond in Lake Elsinore who was really, really good at making sure we maintained a lane for people to walk through around the ring. Very insistent, but I appreciate it. I love seeing a man at work, and he was working.
I think he was 15, Raphie. I don't think you can legally call that person a man.
Okay, off to the gulag for me. I will see you guys once I get done with my stint in Chino Hill State Prison. Keep the show going in my stead.
Listen, I think a little controversy out of that Saturday night game, never mind the 2-1 loss, just, one run in front of the home fans in the Diamond. We're looking for more, but
they had 19 Wednesday, Craig.
Let's spread it around a little bit, eh?
Yeah.
7 today. Now, I don't want to denigrate today's glorious 7-2 win, led by Wyatt Hoffman. 3 hits, 3 at-bats. He had a walk, 2 runs scored, RBI. Got the job done. I mean, absolutely rock solid all the way. But back to Saturday, Mexican Heritage Night, and the team decided to be renamed Los Cadejos de Lake Elsinore.
Your hat. Show everybody the red logo. Ooh, well, you just scared people.
It is a rad logo. And also pretty much cool uniforms, except that the 5s looked like backward Z's.
Yeah.
Which it was.
Is that what they were? Those were 5s?
Those were 5s. It took me more than a minute to figure it out.
Got it.
However, we did some deep dive research, the type of stuff that usually only Raphie and John do. And it's determined that Cadejos are ghost dogs whose eyes are blue if they're cool, but they're red if they fight. However, they are a South American apparition that occasionally travels into Central America. They have no direct correlation to Mexico. So I'm not sure about the Cadejos migration situation and what's going on with that. And I want to know what's going on with that. People say it's a border big crisis, problem. Craig. People say it's a problem.
There's a border crisis for sure.
I'm a little off on this. Cadejos South American, maybe it should have been, Argentinian Heritage Night.
When you do these theme nights, you kind of gotta hit the bullseye, right? And while I think they did so in the design, like nailed that, I think it's a rad mascot for a minor league team, considering the legends that are out there, like the Trash Pandas, the Sod Poodles. I think it's a good step, but probably not the right night to lay it out there, because just they're different cultures,
Well, okay, we need to bring up a larger issue, which is that, as you mentioned, Craig, Los Cadejos, when the eyes are blue, they are calm, and when they are red, then they are fighting and they're angry. And maybe this is a design flaw with the uniform. If they had simply stuck with the traditional Lake Elsinore Storm black and red layout, the eyes would have been red, and maybe they would have had a little more fight in them yesterday, instead of putting up an abysmal 1-run, 3-hit performance. So that, and also the uniforms look too similar to the Stockton Ports. That was not cool. Both teams were like kind of blue, and I didn't like that.
Well, I couldn't agree more. Nonetheless, Leo De Vries, does he want it enough, guys? 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts today. Does he want this Cal League title? I mean, 31-30. You're in the heart of the order. You're batting second every day. You're playing shortstop. Does he want it?
I don't see a guy dedicated winning the Cal League championship, Craig. I see a guy who's out there worried about his own development, future value, and not about doing the small things right. Like yesterday, gets on base, prime opportunity. Like they didn't know it was going to be a low scoring game, of course, but they saw what they were facing. They know that Junior Tour is going to bring it. Like the team's scouting is fantastic. And what's he do once he finally gets on base, Craig? He gets picked off.
Yeah.
Picked off.
What the profile is. Yeah. What? It's really, really frustrating. Really frustrating. I mean, I get the aggressive attitude. And listen, you don't want him going station to station.
Not with the speed. I get it. Like, I know you want to get that big jump They talk about playing smart baseball. They talk about going first to third on any opportunity they can. But with that aggressiveness comes a wisdom. You have to be smart about taking your chances. And it was obvious he was leaning. He got caught, and it put the Storm in a bad position on a night where they can only get one run.
Well, just talk about a momentum killer. You know what I mean? He came up. I think he only got on base because he hit into a fielder's choice on a double play ball. Like, luckily, he's got some wheels on him, and just to reach base on a fielder's choice and then to get picked off. I mean, like, the fielder's choice is a gift in some way that it wasn't a double play, and so to stop the offense there in its tracks, just can't be having it when you're in the middle of a playoff push.
It's true. It's true. But, there's, as always, guys, with this, don't call it a roller coaster like Elsinore Storm season.
Yep.
You
No.
know, we're still trying to get that roller coaster, by the way, installed in Lake Elsinore. That is at a higher level, patreon.com/stormchasers. Our dream is, though, to get that roller coaster installed in Lake Elsinore. But anytime there's something bad, there's something good. And, I mean, listen, I think we're all in agreement that maybe it's time for De Vries to get traded for a better Cal League shortstop.
Yes.
And somebody who can impact this
somebody
team.
Older with more seasoning, more just game smarts, who's been around.
Yeah.
Somebody 23, 24 years old that can really help this team win.
Because we need more Nick Vogt types. I mean, Nick Vogt going gap to gap, going back to the wall. Is this the next great center fielder in this organization?
I mean, we saw James Wood a couple years ago, and he played it pretty out there. And, sadly, we didn't get to see him all that long.
I think he's maybe next for retired number, but that's a different discussion. We'll get
James
to Urso.
Wood. Are we talking James Wood or Nick?
Yeah,
Vogt?
James Wood. Yeah, James Wood for sure.
I didn't say James Woods again, did I? Remember, he wrote us saying not to say his name anymore on that stationery with the flag and the blood. I don't want to hear from James Woods again. So, what did he tell us to say?
You Hollywood types, you always pretend like you're fighting.
I apologize for saying James Wood's name, not James Wood name. James Woods is not a cantankerous assport. He's something else.
I don't like when you derail Storm Chasers, Chris.
I'm sorry, dude.
With
I'll
James
work on
Wood
it.
and James Woods. Like, honestly, James Woods is just a bad influence on Storm Chasers, and I wish we wouldn't talk about him anymore.
I'm sorry. I'll take the note.
Back to Nick Vogt. Gosh, he's fast. I think he's really good. But we're almost to the, as usual, patrons get a little bonus time, patreon.com/Storm Chasers. You can go for the bonus episode after the clouds part, Storm Chasers Part 2. But let's end with our key question of the night. Who's going to be this year's Joe Urso? We're missing our Joe Urso right now.
I think I know who it is. I think it's Romeo Sanabria. I didn't realize this because kind of laid a goose egg when we were watching him play. But the dude has a 920 OPS so far this year. He's 22 years old. He played some JUCO. I think that, like, this is just a classic late bloomer situation. He's slashing 312, 436, 484. And I mean, just pure eyeball test stuff. Big boy. 6'3", 200. I think he's got room to add 20, 30 pounds easy on that frame. So I think we have a young Urso in the making, an Urso Jr., if you will. And so my eyes are all on Romeo Sanabria.
I like it. Yeah. Also Sanabria.
For sure. Sanabria.
He's not going to hit like Urso because he's a pitcher, but seeing Jackson Smeltz come up and make his debut, that first night we were there, he hit somebody right away, which was a little, but he got over it fast and kept the game close after after they got out to an early lead against Mendez. So I like seeing guys come up and impress early on with the big spotlights of Lake Elsinore on them. And he didn't seem fazed by the moment at all. So I'm looking forward to seeing where he can go. I think that the club has had a hard time closing out games. Once you see the starter go out in the third or fourth inning, the gap between third and fourth inning to eighth or ninth inning has been pretty big. So to get him up, 10th rounder out of Purdue, lots of upside there, and just a fantastic name. I don't know if he's a fish cruising around in our inland waters, our bays, or if he's a Hall of Famer from Atlanta. It's just a fantastic name, and Jackson Speltz he's gonna do great in the lake.
Well, I mean, you already know my answer, guys, because I've said it so many times, but I'll just say it one more time. This club's going to go as far as Rosman Verdugo will take them.
I knew you were going to say it.
I mean, you could say it with me, as Verdugo we go. And we're thinking about the t-shirt, we're getting it worked up, but it's Verdugo time. It's time. We need him to get locked in. Listen, guys, this season's on a knife's edge. It's on a knife's edge. We're one game over 500. Guess where we're going this week? We're going to Valley Strong Ballpark. I mean, how many times have we gone to Valley Strong Ballpark and said that we're going to take out Visalia, and then Visalia punks us? And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. It is time for us to be Valley Strong. We need to be Valley Strong. Take down these goddamn Visalia A's or whatever they are and get a win.
I think they're the Visalia Rawhide, if my memory serves me right. I want to go back because
I'm chapped because of the way we play. Another losing team. We cannot go 3-3 again. Can we get a 5-1 out of Valley Strong?
No, you're chapped because you keep wearing the assless chaps to Lake Elsinore. They told you to stop doing that, Craig. So I have a bone to pick with Rosman Verdugo. I need to go back because, as you'll recall yesterday, Rosman Verdugo was selected by one of our Storm Chaser patron sons to be the double-double batter of the game. And what happened? Rosman Verdugo hits a gapper, and he is cruising past second base, and he could have stopped. He could have stopped and given everyone there double doubles. And what did he do?
I was hungry.
He went in for a triple. And so this is my question. Is Rosman Verdugo a clubhouse cancer? Is he selfish? We could have been all eating.
Where did we go? We didn't go to In-N-Out.
I have a clubhouse source that says the players get those coupons too, and they really appreciate them. No, I doubt he did quite well going back into that locker room. He had some explanations to make, Raphie, for sure.
Well, look, we're going to have a lot to get into in the midweek group therapy, but for now, patreon.com/stormchasers, patreon.com/stormchasers. Thank you so much. And until we talk again, go Storm!